What's going on, folks? This week on the podcast, Billy and I do a fight breakdown of Gervonta Davis and Francisco Finesca's fight, and Nathan Cleaverly and Badu Jack. We recorded before the fights came out, so we don't know who won. So you guys get to see if we're right in our assessment. After that, we do a little Q&A, have some fun. I think you guys are going to learn some stuff. You will notice that it sounds like we're outside. It was hot in the studio. We had the windows open. It's a nice ambiance of the outside noises of nature. I hope you guys enjoy the show. I had an awesome time, and on with it.
So yeah, what I was telling you about the PUBGs, they got their first invitational. So
that's a competitive one? That's what you mean by
yeah.
that?
I mean, look, I get it. People don't think esports are really sports. And
what do you mean by... electronic sports?
Yeah, like esports in general, like video game competitions.
Dude,
people
it takes stamina.
Yeah, people don't consider that to be. It's like when people say NASCAR or racing in general isn't a sport, and that drivers are not athletes. Are you kidding me? Pulling G after G and after G in a car especially those dudes who race 12 hours at a time. Like, could you drive a race car with that kind of concentration for 12 hours? I couldn't.
But an athlete, though?
Define an athlete for me. What is an athlete?
Somebody that stresses their body physically.
Mentally.
But if you say that they're an athlete, then you have to say golf players are athletes.
They're athletes. I can't play golf.
Well, it's just because you haven't worked on it. You could, though.
Right. Then I would be considered an athlete or a golfer. I think anybody who can do a physically or mentally straining.
But can you say professionally? Can you call somebody like, I competed at CrossFit comps? Am I an athlete?
Yeah. If you keep doing it, yeah, you're an athlete. Somebody who keeps their body in a conditioned state to perform at something. I mean, how is that not an athlete? Meh. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying kids jacked up on freaking crushed up Adderall is the same thing as a quarterback in the NFL.
Are you calling esport people athletes?
No. I'm just saying people say that esports is not really a sport because they're not athletes. They're not athletes. I mean, they are mentally, but like they're not physical athletes. But to sit there and
some though, you got to train your body. I mean, sometimes you're sitting still for a long period of time.
What do you call it? A competitor?
Yes.
What's the difference between a competitor and an athlete? So to be an athlete, do you have to have physical athleticism?
Yes.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Fine. Okay, I'll agree with that. But to say esports aren't sports, they're sports. There is a competitive nature to the game.
Is dart a sport?
It's a sport. Golf is a sport. Anything that, in my opinion, anything that you're competing against other people that are at the top of that game, that's a sport.
All right, I'll give you that one.
You know, I'm not saying that what I was saying about not being athletes is people saying, like, a lot of those basic sports guys that follow the four major sports and that's all they talk about.
Yeah, well, that's ridiculous.
Racing in general, to say a race car driver who dedicates their life to mental conditioning and physical conditioning to drive at and focus on things that the average person can't do, that's an athlete to me. That's somebody who dedicates their physical and mental well-being to doing something. Now, that's not the same thing as playing esports or crossword puzzles competitively. Like, that to me isn't the same thing. Those are not athletes, they're competitors. Somebody who dedicates all their time and energy to their body and mind for a specific sport. I mean, have you ever seen any esports players?
Some.
A lot of them are physically fit.
Well, yeah, because they have that time that they can go work out and then sit there and play for 8 hours. When is it going to come to Xbox? The guys on Rooster Teeth talk about it all the time, so it's
next month. It's only been out for 4 or 5 months now, and I mean they have to basically redesign
everything.
No, I don't want to say redesign. They have to acclimate the way the game plays, because I mean on PC the game is played with a keyboard and a mouse. Like, to translate that into
they have
a controller.
Controllers too, though, right?
They
have those like gear stick chairs and
I mean they do have controllers that you can, like Steam has its own controller. It resembles an Xbox PlayStation like mating
hybrid, right?
Yeah. like something that went wrong. But I mean, you can use it specifically for Steam. It doesn't work with anything else. I mean, you can reprogram a Xbox controller to use with a PlayStation. You just gotta redo it, like reprogram it.
That'd be a fun one to play. That looks cool.
Yeah, I'm interested. It'll be one of the first ones that I've played of that manner. Like, I've played The Division. It
resembles that.
It resembles that. It's a much wider version. Like, The Division has a survival expansion to it, which is a bare bones version of what H1Z1 is. And yeah, H1Z1's pretty sure it's made, or at least developed by the same company. I don't know if it's made by the same person.
PUBG.
It's the same line of games, though. Survival, you get dropped in and you have to survive. I think there's
third person.
Yeah, third person. You get to scavenge for everything you get, and you got to out survive everybody else.
That's kind of like the new Homefront. Well, that's not new; it's fucking old. But the sequel that they did to Homefront,
it was like that.
Yeah, so it was way different than the first game, and I never finished it because I wasn't. And actually, like, I was hoping to get more of the first game. This was like completely different. That they were taking over. You were a different guy. Which, I mean, that part was fine, but it was all like you had to find some stuff to, like, in apartment buildings to build the bomb and escape, and then, you know, you steal guns and stuff from them. But it was very dark. It wasn't the same. And even the story, the beginning story wasn't even the same story. So in this one, what had happened was it was still with, like, the Koreas. They were supplying all our weapons to us. So, like, all our guns, all these different tanks, basically supplied all of our tools for our military, and they shut it off. So they invaded that way.
Oh,
and
okay.
some like a lot of the corporations complied with them. A lot of the senators and stuff were all like, oh yeah, fucking take us over, whatever. But then, you know, there were small rebellions here and there. But it was almost like a completely different story and game.
I really liked the campaign of the first one. I played the beta all the way through, which was mostly multiplayer, but it was garbage.
Yeah, their multiplayer sucked.
It was horrible, and that's all they gave you access to.
It was a good idea. How it was structured wasn't so bad. Their servers just couldn't. They just weren't built like the way that they did their kill streaks and stuff like their setup wasn't bad. Excuse me for the first one, but it just. Their servers couldn't keep up. You couldn't get a game. When you got a game, it was very laggy and crashed, and then. But that campaign was dope.
Yeah,
that was awesome. Just the whole story.
Well, the beta, the second one was the beta that I played, and it was just no good. Like you said, it was the same problems. It was server issues. It was, you know, if you couldn't find a match, or I mean, if you found a match, you couldn't even make it through the whole match without skipping all across the map, or it shutting down and kicking you off. So these things, I think these are a little more those kinds of games. The MMOs, they're built off the server. So if those things go down, the game is junk. It's useless. It's not like, you know, there's not really a backup. There's no single player mode to it. It's kind of like Paladins.
That was fun.
That one's
I like that.
It's server based. There's only one way to play it, and that's online, team based with everybody. There's no other way to play it.
Yeah, no, that was fun. So yeah, this is that kid Gervonta Davis. He's Mayweather's prodigy.
So he fights out of his camp.
Yep, he's part of the money team, and basically he's gonna be the one to take over. Well,
hopefully,
but I mean, he's got skill. Like he's nice. Here's some of his highlights. Like he's southpaw, so he's got a heavy left hand. Fights.
Now is he the one fighting out of the black and blue?
Yeah, but he's not as like defensive as Mayweather. Like he goes in. So he's 19-0. He's got 17 knockouts.
Oh yeah, he does have a heavy left hand.
Yeah, 19-0-0. He's got 17 knockouts, one unanimous decision, and one where the opponent's corner threw the towel in.
Wow.
But he's not dancing like.
No, he's not. He's quick.
He's not like running backwards. Like he'll eat. The one I was watching the other day, like he was eating punches too and still delivering. Ooh, shit, that fucking hurt. Woo.
Dink. He did not want to get hit again.
No, I don't blame him. That fucking looked like it hurt. Oh shit! That must have been so loud standing like in the front. Whew.
What do you mean? How could you be upset that you're done?
Yeah, that fucking left uppercut. That looks like it hurt.
Yeah.
He sneaks that in there.
Those are huge.
Yeah, he just like
You know what though?
he drops down and like throws that left uppercut, dude. That's brutal. But again, that's 3 in a row. Like if you're studying tape, like as soon as you see him sit, man, I wouldn't duck down into him.
That's gonna be interesting to watch him fight.
I think that fight will be good.
He seems aware. He gets in close, and he just seems like he's aware or can anticipate well what his opponent's gonna do.
Yeah, I mean, he looks good. His left hand is big.
Oh, you should have knocked him out just for that hair.
With the right.
Oh, he hit him right in the ear. Oh, yeah.
It was like delayed too, the way he went down. Like, oh, shit. Yeah, see, there's this boy right there. He's gonna get knocked the fuck out.
I don't know. I heard him talking about this today on Sports Talk Radio. I love how
the undercard or just the
just the fight in general.
Just the Mayweather one.
Yeah,
right?
man. Listen, I don't know. I've never claimed to be super knowledgeable about UFC fighters or. I mean, I followed boxing for a long time, but I've been out of watching it or paying attention to it for years. And listen to these guys who never watch it, never talk about it, never just.
Well, I'm sure they watch boxing.
No.
Who's listening? Or who's talking?
The local, the Boston Sports Talk show there.
Oh, they were talking about
They were talking about the Mayweather-McGregor fight, taking calls on it, and everybody's like, yeah, Mayweather's gonna go in and kill him. And then you get the next guy who, I don't know what that guy's talking about. Mayweather's a bum. Because everybody we don't like in Boston is a bum.
Pretty much.
But yeah, listen to them talk about it, and it's just like they don't know anything about either of the fighters, and they're making calls on it. And I like the fact that they went down to 8-ounce gloves, though. It's gonna give Conor a little more speed. But if Mayweather hits him, that could ring his bell. He's got a heavy hit, so we'll see.
It will be interesting to see what happens, and if Mayweather comes out the way that he says he's gonna come out.
Oh, with just like a flurry and
yeah, well, yeah. I mean, he says he's coming after Conor, which out of so many fights that all of a sudden now you're gonna go. He hasn't been that way since he was young.
Yeah.
His last knockout, I think, was 2007.
Yeah.
Was his last one, and that one was, I don't want to call it a fluke, but I mean, the guy had his hands dropped, protect yourself at all times, but he fucking ate a shot, like borderline sucker punch. But other than that, I think it was like another 3 years before
he had to switch it up if he wanted to get to the point that he's at now. Like, you can't take those kinds of beatings your entire career and expect to have a long career.
Oh, no.
So, I mean, he had to, he basically switched his entire game up to a defensive fighting. That's what he does. He works the points, he plays defense, and then in the later rounds when you're tired, he'll take a nice easy knockout. Or he'll take a nice, little combo and get you woozy and let you finish out the round, and then in the next round he'll finish it up. Do you think he makes a mistake?
McGregor?
Yeah. Throws maybe an illegal move in there somewhere by accident?
No, because I will say, all of them, they're professionals. I can't see him all of a sudden losing his composure and just saying fuck it. There's just so much on the line that would fucking ruin any reputation that he had, as far as those boxing fans or other fans that might be swayed. Granted, he's still gonna have hardcore guys that think it's fun, or not even hardcore fans. He's still gonna have those young jackasses that go, "Oh, that's fucking awesome, guy." I mean that, he gets sued. If he kicks him, it's $75 fucking million. All right.
Does he lose all his money if he?
I don't think it's all of it, but it's still, that's a good fucking chunk.
You don't lose a fight though for that. I mean, they don't just throw you out for one. I mean,
no, but he'll get sued. If he kicked him, Mayweather's already said it's in the contracts. He will get sued. So if he's getting 140 million, UFC's getting 40 million off the top. If he loses composure and can't handle it and throws a leg kick, 75 million. Yeah, I guess you still have 25 million in the bank, but still.
Right.
But that's until he just goes after more. You know what I mean? It'd be.
I know what you mean. They're both.
If that did happen, you will never see anything like this ever again. You just won't. It just won't. No commission will ever look at it and go, "Yep, sure, let's do that again." It won't ever happen, and I don't think it will.
No.
This is going to be a boxing match. He knoes what he's doing. It's not.
He's had plenty of time to prepare for it. So, I mean, you said I know know you said they're both professionals, but he's not a professional boxer. He is.
No, but he's a professional fighter.
He is a professional fighter.
You know how to keep your composure when you're getting your fucking ass kicked.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if Mayweather starts flurrying him and he can't stop it, like he's not. I just don't see him, or I don't see any fighter that was doing the same thing all of a sudden going and kicking somebody. I just don't see it.
I didn't necessarily mean kick. I meant maybe a takedown or like kind of creep in behind him and trip him up a little bit.
No, because I think. Well, I think that's why they didn't want Mayweather ref, so there could be some clinch because Mayweather clinches.
Yeah.
He likes the hugs, man. Some people like hugs. So
Who doesn't like a hug?
But I mean, that's gonna favor McGregor that clinch. You know what I mean? Like you stand clinched against a fucking cage all the time. Like he's gonna be fine. So
yeah, I mean, I don't see it happening, but
again, I just can't see him like losing composure and reverting to that.
No.
The professionals.
Professional
I mean,
fighters.
like I said, if it does it, I mean, UFC's reputation, his reputation, everything. Like, you couldn't handle boxing. I thought you could handle boxing. Like,
yeah.
If that happened, that would be an interesting to see, like, what would happen afterwards.
Oh, that kind of mistake.
I mean,
everything he's built on the last couple of years is.
Yeah, like, but and then it's like, so now you go back to the UFC to fight, but everybody's gonna talk shit. Everybody. I mean, except for he'll still have his fans.
Oh yeah.
Did you hear about that kid that came up with a McGregor song?
No.
So he I mean, he's like 24. He's a gym teacher. He made up a McGregor song. I'll play it for you later. It's not bad. Like it's
the fact that you're laughing, it tells me.
But he's playing it on
it.
He takes a lot of quotes and makes a song with it. Like it's good. But it's he's got it up on iTunes right now. I'll have to look at the name too, so that I'll spread it out as much as we can. It costs $1, and the proceeds go to a children's hospital out in Dublin. So that's cool. But so it blew up, like it went viral. McGregor's team heard about it, and then McGregor heard about it. They all tweeted it out. And McGregor flew him and a friend out to Vegas for the week with tickets for the fight.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so...
See a stupid little song, kids. You get that shit to go viral and you can make a career on it.
It's funny because of all the quotes that he uses from, like, the press tour and from McGregor. Like, it's good. Like, it's... So this is that other kid. They don't really have highlights on him. Francisco Fonesca, which is also like even looking for him. So there's a soccer player of the same name that he's way more popular than this kid, like way more popular. So he's the one on the left with the red shorts. He's like Costa Rican. He's 19-0-1. There was like a medical disqualification or something, like, or a majority draw. Like he got cut, but I guess was winning the fight points wise. So they gave it a draw from a majority decision. Boxing's weird like that. Anyway,
Spanish is messing me up.
Yeah. Oh, it's a matter. You're supposed to translate for me.
I can't translate that. That's way too fast.
So he's got 13 knockouts, and he's also had one fight where the opponent's corner stopped it. So I mean, he's not bad, but I don't think he's on the level. Just looking at him move to the other one, I just don't think he's going to be on the same level as Davis. Like
That's who Davis is fighting?
Yeah, the kid in the red shorts. Yeah, like just the movements. He's just, I mean, again, like I forget. I wish I could remember the guy's name, but the guy that was on the MMA hour. But like you said, you can get a tomato sandwich to 18-0 in boxing. So, but yeah, I just think the other kid's gonna just. I don't think he'll tool him. I think he'll be all right. I mean, this he's obviously trying to win, so he's not just going to let the kid take it. But I just don't see Mayweather's kids walking away with it, or not walking away with it. Sorry.
Right. You don't see him losing to this guy. Yeah.
No.
I'm with you.
No, I can't.
I mean,
he throws like it's not.
Well, yeah, he's not really doing much different than the other guys in the highlights we watched. I mean,
right.
They kept coming in on him, and then as soon as he sits back, he dropped that heavy left, like you said, and kills him.
Yeah, especially this because he fights orthodox, so I mean his face is going to be open to that left coming right up. So these other two, Nathan Cleaverly, he's the champ. I haven't looked too much into him, other than he's 30-3. He's got 16 knockouts, and he's only been KO'd once. So I mean. Again, but he's a fucking light heavyweight, which is 175. Yeah, so when I was researching this, right, because I've been so far removed from boxing since probably Roy Jones. I mean,
wow.
So I mean, like I watched a little bit when Bernard Hopkins was young, but Roy Jones is probably when I stopped like paying attention to shit. I mean, Roy Jones
was that like 96.
Yeah, probably about there.
97 at the latest.
Yeah. So, I mean, Roy still fought afterwards, but he just lost a step. But about that time frame when he was in his prime, that's when I was watching. I mean, minus like Tyson and that shit.
You know, to be honest, I never really. I'm too young to be watching all them old Tyson fights.
Dude,
like I can
he's
watch
a fucking beast.
Yeah, like I've watched them now, but when they were, current, I was too young to watch that kind of stuff. So I watched him at the end.
Yeah,
of his career.
I didn't watch him when he was current. I saw videos of his old ones.
I remember the last Holyfield fight where got his ear bit off.
That's so crazy. Didn't he do it to somebody else too afterwards? Like he bit somebody? Or he bit somebody before that?
No, he bit I think he bit somebody after that. It was in an exhibition match. It wasn't even a sanctioned boxing match. Like it was just some scrub looking to make a name for himself, and they got Tyson on board to fight, and he did kind of the exact same thing to him. Not as bad though.
At least Tyson, he can make fun of himself now.
He's good at it too.
Yeah,
he's a funny dude.
So let's look up Nathan Cleaverly. Excuse me. But yeah, so what I was saying was being far removed from boxing as I've been when I was trying to look up these just the two fights before. I looked up the whole list, but then I only focused on the first two fights before Mayweather and McGregor. They kept throwing out, like, first I didn't realize there was so many fucking weight classes to boxing. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot.
There is a lot.
There's a lot.
I didn't realize there were that many either.
I think there should be more in MMA just so that weight cuts don't have to be so drastic, but what the fuck?
Well, yeah, from what I know about the weight classes in UFC, they're a little bit more spread out. They're pretty close in boxing, weight-wise. Like you said on the small guys, they get bigger as you go through. Like, the heavier you get, they span out a little bit more. But those lower weight class guys, those middleweight guys, those featherweight guys, there's not a lot of room in between being too light and too heavy for the class.
Yeah, apparently not. That's crazy. But then they also had, I know what a KO is. I know what UD is, unanimous decision. But then they had one that was PTS, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? So that's by points, which isn't that what a decision is, but whatever. And then one was by the RTD. I didn't know what that is, but that's when your corner stops it.
Right.
So learning
when you've had enough and you're too mushed out to realize it yourself. I know it's a little off topic, but definitely not off color. That Cormier fight, I still can't believe how dazed and confused he was at the end of that fight.
Yeah, so
I went back and watched it again.
One of our questions has to do with that, actually.
The Cormier-Jones fight?
Jones.
Or just Jones in general?
Just Jones in general.
Being a badass motherfucker. No? Not a fan?
Oh, I am, but I assume you don't know.
About what? Did he get popped for performance-enhancing drugs or something?
Yeah.
Or cocaine?
No, steroids.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did they strip him?
Yeah, it's possible. They gotta wait for the second test, the sample B, to come back.
Wow.
Yeah. So
this dude. Do you think this is the last straw for him? Didn't he get disqualified from his last fight because of the same thing?
But that was a dick pill. But yeah, or whatever. Oh, we'll get into
still performance enhancing.
Somebody did ask a question. We'll get back to that. So this is Nathan Cleaverly, who's the fight before Gervonta Davis. He, I believe, is a champ as well of the.
Is this the blue trunks?
Light heavyweight. Yes.
He doesn't really look like a Sergey.
He's not Sergey, he's Nathan.
I know.
Oh, the other guy.
The other guy is Sergey.
Yeah, I could get you. So, I mean, that's light heavyweight. That's 175 to 200. I mean, that's 25 pounds that you can, like, a range of weight. You know what I mean? That's such a weird thing to be. So, like, I could be 175 and you could be 200 or, 199 and we'll fight in the same division.
That's crazy. They keep it so tight in the lower levels and the lower weight classes, but up top they just don't even care. They're like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
You want to squeeze a couple cheeseburgers in before you go for it.
Weird, huh?
You know what it is? I think that boxing was ruined after all those heavyweights went out. When you had no more Holyfields, Tysons, Alis, those real charismatic, big, heavy boxers.
I don't think it went out. It's just different now. Whereas, like I was saying the other time, that it's almost like soccer, where it's more international than MMA is right now. I mean, UFC's growing. I mean, they're in China, Singapore, like they're growing.
See, I would have thought it was opposite.
But boxing is like all over the place. And I mean, it's still here, but it's not. We just don't have that big name American boxers anymore.
See, I would have thought it would be the opposite with mixed martial arts being, and I don't mean just UFC in general. I mean mixed martial arts in around the world is like every country region has its own martial art of some form. Boxing was formed here out of Europeans coming here and just fighting in bars for money and tabs, like at the bar or the tavern. So, or something to do to take out their frustrations. Like, it wasn't like a real thing.
No, but I think if UFC would have stayed the way that it was in the beginning, where you had different classes of fighters, like that's when it was like the jiu-jitsu guy versus the wrestler, this guy versus striker, you know what I mean? Like our taekwondo versus boxing. Like, it was more set up to be like that different thing where they all merged. Like, they say Bruce Lee's the true creator because he took all those styles and blended them to one. That's what mixed martial arts is now. It's not, it's its own thing, and it's growing. But like other countries, like you only had that style. Right. Like American had, it was Western boxing. It was Russia had like I think Sambo, and like French had like the Sabat, and it's just you had your own style of fighting. And MMA is now a convergence of everything mixed into one, the best pieces from each rolled into one, and it's gonna grow. Like, I mean, eventually I think it'll be in the Olympics. It should be
UFC,
mixed martial arts.
Mixed martial arts. Yeah,
I think it should be.
Yeah, all the golfers didn't want to go in.
Well, they just didn't want to go to Brazil, right? Is that what it was? Were they?
I don't know. I couldn't remember. I can't remember why, but I'm pretty sure every top golfer said no to the Olympics.
Yeah, I think it's because it was in Brazil last time.
Oh,
they didn't want to get robbed.
Oh,
well, it's like what happened to
a bunch of well-dressed white people.
Yeah. Again, I don't know all the fights. I got to see this Badu Jack who Nathan Cleaveley's fighting. I don't know. I'm not sure how that fight's gonna go. I mean, they both had a lot of big fights. It seems like. Oh yeah! I can't wait. You know what I'm excited about the football season for? Some more bad lip reading videos.
Oh, those are hilarious.
Yeah, they are.
Those sideline bad lip reading. Yeah, not super jazzed up about the football. I'm usually in this funk. I get excited for training camp. I want to hear what's going on. I want to know who's showing up, who's holding out, who's doing their thing, what rookies are, making a little bit of a name for themselves. I get so amped up for the first preseason game, and I literally watch 5 minutes of it. And I'm not overstating the word literally. I literally watch 5 minutes of it, and then I'm done. I can't even watch this. It's such garbage.
We went to Wild Wings with the fam. Some girls showed up and hadn't seen this kid in a while and was like, I was literally killing myself. My wife just looked at me. She's like, literally? I guess you don't know the meaning of that word.
Yeah, apparently you just overstate the word literally.
Yeah.
You should have said figuratively I was killing myself.
I don't pay attention to football until
fantasy football starts.
Yeah, that's the only reason why.
When that counts.
Yeah, pretty much. And even that, like the way that we're set up now, as long as I can win 4 weeks and make my money back, I had fun.
That's fun. Right. You guys do the weekly payouts now.
Yeah, man. Should have came on.
No, I'm good with my freedom. I like it.
I have freedom. Plenty of freedom.
No.
That's the problem is you invest way too much time into that shit. Again, as long as I can just win a couple weeks.
It's my hobby though. Like when I'm in fantasy football, I'm reading about players, I'm looking for players, I'm watching every game whether my player's in it or not because I may want to pick somebody up. So it's a lot of hobby free time stuff invested in it. I liked it a lot, but just last year not being in it and not having to worry about any of that shit or PPRs
like you said, though, this is a PPR, that's even more interesting. That's the first time that we've done that.
I did the free ones that way.
Yeah, but where you're going into it and you can't even watch 5 minutes because you're like, man, I just don't fucking give a shit. At least this would give you a reason to give a shit. Not that I don't care about fucking preseason anyways. I don't watch it.
That's only preseason.
I look at the score. Maybe they're what three deep already.
They play their third. They're playing it right now.
Yeah,
they're playing it tonight.
Pats are.
Yeah, I believe. Are they playing tonight or Saturday?
But either
one
way,
of the two.
Who the fuck cares?
They're playing Detroit.
I know they're 0-2. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
It's not gonna. I don't reflect shit on the season.
No, it doesn't.
I know Goodell wants to get rid of 2 of the preseason games. He fucking should.
Should. Two more regular season games.
Put them on the back end where it counts.
That's where I want to see it.
Well, you're going to have to if they want to go over to London more and Mexico City and all that bullshit.
Yeah.
Fucking waking up at 9 o'clock in the morning to watch football. I ain't got time for that shit. So I think this guy's going to win. This Badu Jack, I don't know. He just has a badass name. So
sometimes you just got to go by the color of the shorts or the name.
I know a person that back in the day when we would do football pools that won that week based off of picking the uniforms. So,
which uniform they like better? I got beat out of a survival pool because someone said that a panther was their spirit animal and that's who they picked, and I was like, "That no way, this is easy money," and they ended up losing. I was like, "What? What though?" Because that's your spirit animal.
Hey man, you should have picked yours.
The numbers shouldn't lie, but
look at that dude's shorts. They are very glittery. So Badu Jack is the dude with the black shorts with the very sparkly name and shorts. Holy fuck, his shorts are sparkly. Well, I guess he can't say much. That other guy has like those tassels? Is that what you call those things hanging
tassels?
Yeah, hanging around his ass with the British flag.
Dude, his shorts are super glittery. Like, I feel like people should be dancing to Donna Summers around that guy.
I'm pretty sure my daughter would fucking take those shorts just for the sparkles.
Can you imagine the approval process in those shorts? Like, no. Needs more glitter. No. Still more glitter. Can you put some glitter all up around the ball area? No?
Yeah, I should have had a triangle going right around it. So,
the other guy outlined his bikini line.
So, Badu Jack, the Ripper, huh?
The Ripper? He's
nice. He's quick for a bigger guy.
Wow, that dude just straight missed those two shots.
Yeah, but he moved his head back, though. Like, it's good timing. Yeah, for being 175 to 200, they move pretty fast. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be an awesome fight. It'll be interesting to see. I hope there's a lot of finishes. It'll be interesting to see how their ratings go.
Yeah, I don't know. So, back to the football. You think they can do it?
Go undefeated?
Yeah.
Fuck no.
No?
No.
Me neither.
I mean,
people look at me like I have 10 heads when I say
they really don't have like that bad of a schedule. Like it's really not that bad.
No.
Who is it? Denver's that is rated the hardest schedule on paper.
On paper, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean,
but they actually just had two players go down. One's a rookie. He's never. I don't know if he's a rookie or just an undrafted free agent that's like a second year. He got hurt in practice. I don't know how serious that one is, but I'm pretty sure they lost a linebacker too. But that's not even the hardest. To me, that's not even the hardest game on the schedule for the Pats. If they can get past.
You think Orlando?
No. If they can get past. Oakland. If they can get past Oakland,
same area,
and they're playing in Mexico too, so
which they don't play. Pats 500.
I believe they're 500 on neutral sites in the regular season.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can't count Super Bowls because they're always in neutral sites, unless you're the fucking Giants. I don't think they can do it. If they can get to. If they make it to the playoffs and have still not lost the game, then yes, I'm jumping on that 19-0 bandwagon.
Well, at that point, you kind of have to, don't you? Like if they finish the regular season undefeated, you kind of got to jump on that bandwagon because you obviously it's one and done in the playoffs, so you don't want them to lose. So you kind of gonna be like, man, I've been calling this shit since day one, son.
I won't. I've been out there I've had this conversation with multiple people. A lot of them are super Pats fans. I get it. Fine, you're excited. It's a good team, but preseason game number 2, and you're saying they're going completely undefeated and winning the Super Bowl. Hold on.
Especially when they're losing the preseason games.
Let's get the cart back behind the horse. Well, see, that's not a good barometer of...
It kind of is, though, because that's a test of your backup. You know what I mean? Like, that's a test of if shit goes down, who are you plugging in and playing? And if they're not performing, then you're going to have issues later on in the season when your guys get banged up.
I see that.
I mean, obviously, they got to chop it down to 53 anyways, or...
Yeah.
I think they were voting. They expanded, right? So they can get like 56 or some shit like that. Or I didn't think it was by much. It was.
No, it's not by much. I know they did expand it, but see, that's the gauge. Like, yes, you're getting to look at who's filling in for players, but you're never gonna see all number 2s and number 3s out there. You would have to have every starter on the team get hurt.
Right, well, I get that.
That's an ugly product because the Patriots, they don't play
any starters.
They spend 4 games. It's a whole nother season, and it's all for the backups to show what they got. So, I mean, you'll never have... I mean, I can't say never because I'm sure it's come close where, they've lost not the Pats in general, but just a team has had so many injuries that they've gone to so many backups by the end of the season. But
like Cleveland.
Yeah. I don't know how that's possible, man. They were good for a few years, and then they get to the midpoint of the season, and it's just like,
well, even
we're supposed to be in the dumpster fire over there. Let's go jump back in there.
even was it last year or the year before, where they had Griffin go down, and then every backup to the point where they had to trade to get other backups because their backup went down. Like, it just, that was
they
insane.
lost 2 of them in the Pats game.
Yeah,
they played the Pats, and I think they went down to their third quarterback and had to have a receiver come in. Pryor, I believe it was, came in and played quarterback for the end of the game.
Yeah. Well, he was a quarterback before he went to receiver.
Yeah, in college, but
even in the NFL.
Was he in the NFL?
Yeah, he was signed as a quarterback for
the Oakland Raiders in 2011.
Okay,
played 2 years
before they got Jamarcus Russell.
Right, that's what it was.
Yeah, see that? Yeah, fucking.
And it was as a quarterback.
Yeah.
And then he played 2 years for Oakland after he got drafted.
And sucked,
he
dude.
played for Seattle, but I don't think he finished the season because it's got an asterisk next to it. 2015, Kansas City picked him up. Asterisk. Because he went to Cincinnati that same year, Cleveland that same year.
Yeah, it's just been.
And played there for 1 year, and now he's on the Redskins.
Yeah, but when he went to Cleveland, he was a fucking wide receiver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he played wide receiver or was technically signed as a backup wide receiver for Cincinnati as well.
And just didn't do anything?
Just didn't do anything. His career's, he's got 79 receptions, 1,071 yards, 4 touchdowns.
No, it's not bad, though, for a quarterback turned fucking receiver.
Yeah, his passing yards, he's got just under 2,000 passing. He's 9 touchdowns, 12 interceptions for his career, and he's got a quarterback rating of 69.3, which is still better than Johnny Manziel.
That's fucked up. I mean, he sucked.
Or Tim Tebow. Actually, I don't know about that.
Dude,
Tebow might
he went
actually
to the fucking playoffs, dude. Like, he's been killing
with
that shit.
divine intervention, there should be.
He's been killing that shit in baseball.
Oh, I know. I saw that.
That's pretty crazy. Like,
he stepped up, hit a 3-run home run.
Athlete. Can play multiple things.
Wow.
See, but I think a lot of athletes can transition to another sport. Well, could a esport athlete transition to another sport?
Well, I don't know. Could a Gears of War player play Call of Duty?
Is that considered transitioning sports? That's first-person shooter. Shouldn't it be like first-person shooter versus puzzle or something?
Well, one's a third-person over-the-shoulder shooter, and one's a first-person shooter. So
fair enough.
Different class of game. So I don't know how that breaks down, but Tom Brady was actually drafted in high school by I want to say it was by the Tigers.
Oh, for baseball,
yeah.
Right? Yeah.
He was an all-star catcher in high school, and I think he might have even played a year of college
as both.
No, as baseball, and then that's when he shifted his focus on football.
Focus.
And the rest is history. So how many of these questions did we get here?
So I get about 5. So why don't we pause this? We can grab a beer.
Sounds good. Now
that we're back, like they knew it, we paused and we're back. I couldn't decide today when I went to the store to get beer for tonight. Okay. So
we've all been there.
I grabbed a little 6-pack build your own thing and grabbed three different types. Which one would you like to try tonight?
I want to try this Pilsner.
Okay. So Hellbrook Pilsner. Yeah. It's a gnarly mountain pils.
Where are they out of?
Middlebury, Vermont.
It's a good region for beer.
What's funny is though it's only 5.5. That's probably like the lightest beer that we've had.
Yeah, we did
so far.
Yeah, the first couple episodes were definitely some heavy IPAs and stuff.
Can I get that opener, please?
I thought you were just going to use your
my ring.
Normal.
Yeah, no.
Did you break it?
No.
Oh.
I just didn't feel like doing it.
Not quite sure. It's a little confusing at first.
I guess you know what it is. I'm so used to like IPAs and heavier beers right now that this is like, it's a lighter. It's kind of bubbly in the back of your mouth at the end. I wonder what makes with Pilsner, an IPA, like an IPA. Like what is it that makes it that? Because I'm curious.
That is an excellent question. You should tweet that to the show.
So I'm going to go to this question first. I was going to do the other one first, but I'm going to save that one to the end. That's a good ending one. So first question is, which I guess you don't know about. So, John Jones and his recent alleged drug test fail. Should he be allowed to keep his win? And also, should he be allowed to continue to fight for the UFC?
Well, the first part of that question, should they take his win? I mean, there's precedent, right?
I don't think it would be a press.
Somebody has tested positive.
Oh, yeah.
And lost a win, right?
Yeah, it goes to a no contest, and then he'll get his belt back.
I would say whatever the average for that. If it's like a year suspension, then a year suspension.
He's looking at 4.
4 years?
Yeah, so
he might as well retire at this
because
point.
This is his second offense.
Which brings me to my second. He's a habitual offender like that?
Yeah, so
I mean,
alleged.
Do they have a test?
They did one.
Did he test positive?
On one, but with tests like this, they take 2 samples. So that way you test one. If it's fucked up, you test the other one. So it could have gotten taken in the lab. It could be a supplement that he's taking, and they're saying I'm not a doctor, nor do I know the science behind the shit, but from what Jones's camp is saying, that he passed all his out of competition tests. So he had a test July 6th and July 7th that he passed that were randoms. This one they knew about. They're saying it's the test that happens after the weigh-ins. Mm-hmm. So, and that it's an oral steroid, Truberbanol. I forget how to say the name. Truberbanol.
Yeah.
See, this is why we need somebody to Google while we talk.
Yeah.
So whatever steroid out of I think for Olympic athletes is what it was. I want to say German ones that designed it back in the day. So, but it just doesn't make sense. Like, I don't know. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt until that second. Like, I was heartbroken when I read that shit. Heartbroken. Fucking my wife's like, I don't understand why you're so upset by this. That comeback story that he got to have, the win, like, dude, just the ass whooping. Like, I like DC. I want to like DC. I got very aggravated the way that he left the Rumble fight, talking shit like that when you know that Rumble quit. Okay, anybody that
you're
watched
stuck
the
on
UFC, I am stuck on that. Like, that pissed me off. Like, don't
like, this seems like a deal breaker for you.
I'm heartbroken that he lost. I'm pissed off, man. I want him, dude. He is such an unbelievable fighter. Like, the talent that is in that kid is the youngest champion in history.
Maybe that's it. Maybe the UFC knows he's so good that he could dominate the UFC, and then.
But they need that star power. This is not taking.
Yeah, but eventually you get too big, man.
No, I don't. I don't
maybe,
think he. I don't know.
Maybe it's the UFC trying to keep him out.
Connor's still the bigger draw. You know what I mean? Like, he's not number one, but especially now, like, this whole year, like, the fights have been all right, but none of them have been, like, great. Dude, his fucking DC fight was awesome. This past one that just happened, like, he crushed that kid. And I think Demetrius Johnson, I can't wait for his fight in October. I think he's gonna murk. UFC treats him badly. Like, he's a fucking disgusting fighter. Keeps it moving. He's not one that just plays safe. Like, he goes after it. So he doesn't get the respect. But anyways,
the second part of that question was, should the UFC drop him? Well, if they're looking to ban him for 4 years, I mean,
well, that's the commission.
Yeah, but he can't fight under contract for the UFC while he's suspended or banned or whatever they call it.
Yeah, but I don't think it would matter where he go. Like, he wouldn't be able to fight at all. Even if he got dropped and went to Bellator, he still wouldn't be able to fight for 4 years.
Right, so the UFC should drop him. If it's that big of a problem for you, and he's had that many slip ups. I mean, he is good, but what are they gonna do? 4 years, like, who's gonna remember it in 4 years? Is he even gonna come back in 4 years? 4 years is a long time for. What are you gonna go and do? You can't fight.
He could do grappling matches. I think
there's a difference with that.
Yeah, you're not punching somebody.
They don't count grappling as.
He was allowed to compete grappling. He worked on his jiu-jitsu. Man, I was so excited to see. I was hoping, like, to see him.
Maybe it'll just come back.
He is on some Dragon Ball Z shit, like his movements. Like,
Back to my conspiracy theory.
I'm disappointed. Heartbroken. It hurts. I'm waiting for that second test. If that second test comes back positive, that's a fucking... Even if it was a tainted supplement or not, you should know by now. Like, you should know...
Oh, he shouldn't be taking any chance.
Yeah, like... His shit should be tested before he even takes it. As soon as he opens up a container, take a fucking test. Like,
don't even eat some Flintstone vitamins, man. Just don't put anything in your body. Just be safe. And he didn't.
But then it goes to question, like, they're questioning... I mean, you question his legacy, right? Was he on steroids all his fights? Is he only so good because he was on that shit? It's tough.
So about that Rumble fight. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, he fucking quit. Man, I get it. He didn't want to be there. I fully understand. I mean, don't, but I do. I mean, but the fact that him, dude, like... I mean, he's a veteran. He's been around for so long. All the fights that he had at 170 were so inconsistent because of that huge weight cut that he did all the time to get let go to the World Series of Fighting and just beast on motherfuckers. Like, just straight up beat the shit out of people. Like, just murking them one shots. Nice. I mean, you saw Glover. Dude, that Glover fight where he knocked his tooth out or whatever that was.
Yeah.
They're saying it wasn't a tooth, but that shit looked like a tooth from my eyes.
You could clearly see that was a tooth.
So, all right, you didn't... I think we talked about fantasy without even meaning to. Second question's about the fantasy football draft, which you did not partake in this year. So
I'm free.
I don't remember who my players are. The person running the league has not put them in yet.
Must have been amazing. Don't you have the draft sheet where you wrote down your players?
No, I barely pay attention. Again, as long as I just make enough moves to cover my 4 weeks, like, it's just fun to do. It gives you a reason to talk to people, something to
water cooler
community
talk,
about. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Just, I don't know. Again, if I can just 4 weeks, that's not that bad. Out of 16.
I miss it sometimes. Like, I get to
12,
week 6 and I'm
people.
like, I probably shouldn't. Nah, I'm good.
But it was fun.
Well, good luck. I hope you win at least your money back.
Me too. They almost voted for not payouts.
If it were real money, I mean.
Well, it's not Bitcoin, so I don't know if it's real money. It's $25. Your Pilsner? What do you think?
You know what? I just think it's good, but I think my taste buds are not quite ready for it yet. This is like
very different.
Oh yeah, it's much lighter than what we've been drinking and trying lately. So
it even tastes lighter than Bud.
Plus, I've been sneaking in a couple victories.
I'm sorry, when?
I bought some last weekend. I took Jess's husband down to the brewery and check it out.
Nice.
Bought some victories. Those are
tasty.
Those are nice little convenient 4-pack.
Yeah.
That's one a day. Maybe even get you to Friday. I don't drink more than 2 of those even on a Friday night. Those things are strong.
Yeah, usually about 2, maybe 3.
No, it
depends on what I have to do tomorrow. But you usually work Saturday, so.
Isn't Saturday a work week or a work day for everybody?
No. If you won the lottery drawing last night, what would you have done with the winnings?
Oh, I'm up first on this one? Okay.
Oh, you want me to go first?
Yeah. Well, no, I'll get it out. What would I have done first? If I realized I won, I would have signed the ticket. I would have taken it directly to the bank, put it in a lockbox, hired a lawyer and a financial advisor, and probably called the lottery commission at some point in there after talking to a lawyer.
Wouldn't they talk to the lawyer for you or no?
No.
Oh, no. What I mean is, wouldn't they talk to the tax?
You can do everything yourself. You can call the lottery commission, I'm pretty sure, and just say I have the winning ticket. It's signed. They verify it. They give you a big fat, like literal fat check, and then you move on up. That would be the first thing I would do.
Yeah.
I mean, but
that's pretty. I would imagine those are the smartest steps to take. So
yeah, because I mean, you just won. What was it? 758 million, and then after, I think she took a lump sum, which was 460 million, I believe, and then from there you got to pay. I believe from there you have to pay federal and state taxes on that. So I think she walked away with like 380 something. Yeah. So yeah, that's a lot of dough. That's generations of generations can be okay to go to college, and so yeah, I would definitely invest that. I don't want that much money at my disposal.
I'd buy a fuckload of gold. I mean, after the beginning part that you said, like my first step, like what would you? I would invest gold heavy. I was actually just listening to this guy on Rogan's today that. Yeah, I just want that fat check.
Just take it down to the pawn shop. Give me all your necklaces.
What do you give me for this? I would buy a studio or build a studio somewhere.
Build a studio?
Probably rent a studio, or probably just build a fucking building and build a studio to do this professional business stuff. I mean, I love my basement, and that's why I bought my house. But
yeah,
we know distraction.
I really don't think I can get past that. Like, I'm sure all kinds of things run through your mind, but I want to make sure I'm legally protected.
Yeah.
I haven't worked past that. I don't want to fantasize about.
But it's not fantasizing, but that's
tossing hundreds in the air on a yacht.
No, I'm not going stupid, but I would. But that's what I'm saying. I'm setting up stuff to keep income coming. Granted, I don't ever have to work again.
Yeah.
But you still want
income isn't really a problem.
Right, but I would still I don't know. You got to do something. Me doing a lot of shit. But at the same time, working at ways to keep money coming in, not just spending money and only worrying about interest and shit like that. Hence, buying the gold and investing in other things, properties.
Yeah. The one thing I don't really like about the Massachusetts lottery system is that you can't stay anonymous.
Yeah, no.
Like you win a big chunk of money, man. Not everybody knew who knows you.
That shit was on Twitter. That shit was everywhere.
You were on the nightly news.
You were on somebody's hit list.
Yeah. You are getting calls. You might as well just disconnect your phone and go off the grid, because people are going to be calling you left and right. Charities, family, sisters, friends, people you ain't talked to since second grade.
Yo, man, remember when we did that thing back in the day? So I'll give you the last question of the day, and you can read that first.
The rapping thing. They want to know about the rapping thing, and just before you go off on this, I do like other things other than burritos. Sports is a big thing. Chimichangas. I do. But I have a special place in my heart for burritos. I'm sure this question has been burning in this person's heart to know about this rapping thing, and I really want this. Do tell.
So I'm not embarrassed. It's just it was a different time back then. So when I was
when music was music.
Yeah, but I liked it back when I was 12. Me and my friend Josh Harrison, who I haven't seen that kid in fucking forever. When we were in Beverly after I moved back from Nevada. We used to, was it Criss Cross was big then, ABC, good shit, and kids back then. So that got you into it. But then, as you got older, you start hearing Tupac, and you're like, yeah, I can rap like that too. Say I'm gonna kill motherfuckers, and what? So we did a couple raps, nothing big, and then I moved up here, and then me and this other kid, Dante Irizarry, when we were in high school, we came up with raps. Then we were fucking playing Mafia. So back then I was Two-Face because I like Batman. We used to do shit all the time. Again, nothing like shows or anything like that. But then he moved down to Florida. I went down there for a while. Came back, and then when I started hanging out with Casper again, I'm like, fuck it, dude. I should have did it a long time ago when I had first met that kid. I think that would have been a whole different path that I could have gone down, some weird shit. But anyway, did not. So I jumped on it. Then I made a CD. Rap.
Can we find this album anywhere?
Oh my god!
Dig deep in the iTunes vaults. Is it out there somewhere?
It's not on this computer, but I know where to get it, so I might.
We might have to hunt that down.
Throw a song in.
Attached
to the thing. So, fucking Christ. But it was fun. I did shows at Millie's. When he was here and we were doing shows, that was fun. So that helped me grow in the point where to get the word out back then, before the fucking internet, before it was really used as prevalent
social
as
media.
It is now. Yeah, basically, you know what I mean? We would made up flyers, you make up business cards and walk the streets of Manchester passing out flyers.
Posting on your MySpace.
Yeah, with MySpace. Yeah, started trying to do that, do the MySpace music page. He left, went to Atlanta to go to school. I met this other kid, Educated, and we rapped for a while. We had some good tracks, and it was basically our business now, me and his. But given his job, I did a lot of work then too. Like I fucking would go to like Scores to set up stuff. I'm the one that paid for beats back then with him, like paid for the music to rap on. I paid for the flyers, the business card. Like I did that part of the work. And then he was good. He was good. His girlfriend sang Envy, and we did shows at Scores for a while. Like I helped promote it and through all that, and got to know the bar manager Brian really well. And then when Capadonna was like, I don't know, like the 10th member of fucking Wu-Tang, 10 out of 20 or whatever, when he was doing a show there, we were asked to open up by Brian. Brian got us able to open up, so we did the show. For you. Yeah, oh yeah. That was like that's my highlight reel, my ESPN thing, and then into the night. But so
then you became a E special.
What?
An E special, yeah, spiral into the VH1.
A VH1 behind the music, fucking Simpson edition. Yeah, like it was. But that was awesome. Like that was. I mean, I couldn't have asked like to like get to do something like that before going out. Like that was dope. Especially like afterwards, we did a freestyle session on the walkway, and I don't know. I just sat there. There was like 1, 2, 3, probably like 6 other people. He's like standing across from me, and they're, you know, I mean, they're taking their turns, but it's all thug shit. Like that's what it was. It was all thug shit, and it was good. It was good, but I wasn't. So when I finally got the turn to go, dude, he bobbed his head, and I was standing across from him doing what I was doing, and I was the only one, and I fucking lost it. Like, so, you know, finished up, we wrap up the night, her and my wife was with me at the time, we'd go down to get gas at the 7-Eleven on 101. Dude, I'm fucking like, dude, you see that shit? Did you see that shit, right? I'm not the only one that saw that shit, right? You saw that shit? Did you see that shit? Because, dude, the only one to get his head to bob was dope. And we got invited to go down to New York after that, and team didn't want to go, and I was loyal to my team. Fuck it. If you don't want to go, if you don't feel it's right, then we don't have to do it. But then after that, like, it just got to be drama because his girlfriend was singing, and then they got engaged, and then one show they got fucking divorced, and I just didn't want to deal with the fucking nonsense anymore. I was like, dude, like why am I killing myself for this? Like, I hit my pinnacle. Peace out. Should have took that trip to New York. Didn't. That's where the road ended. Like, between that and then just having ego, thinking I'm a big man, so, you know.
Now you're all grown up.
No, I'm getting there. I'm working on it. I'm learning day by day. So
it's all about the princesses and tea parties and
just trying to figure out what being an adult means, which I think I've come to define it as just doing what you say you're gonna do. Pretty much
responsibility. That's the only thing that separates us from children.
You can have responsibility all you want. Like, your kids still have responsibility, but they can get away with not doing it. I don't mean, like, I definitely check them. That's not what I mean. But you're not, their consequences are nothing like our consequences. You know what I mean? Yeah, like that's what you can do as a kid and get away with. Like, you can't do that shit now.
Yeah, like if you don't pay your light bill, they don't just send you to your room for 20 minutes.
Yeah, go clean your room. Okay.
They don't even shut off the light.
I can't see because you shut the light off. So that was my rap career. If I can find a CD, which I think I have over there, I will put a snippet of a song on. I'm not snippet because so much bandwidth, bro. So much bandwidth. I can't.
I need to find a GIF or a GIF to go with it.
Is it a GIF?
I think it's GIF. Every time somebody says either GIF or GIF, there's always a debate quickly, and then you settle in.
It's giraffe. Why wouldn't it be GIF? Or GIF.
It's GIF.
But why wouldn't it be GIF? It's giraffe. That's what
I don't know. The guy who created it, I guess, came out and said it's a GIF.
Oh, well, alright, well, I guess that makes sense. Huh?
I wonder
if he's the guy that did it, how you fucking deny what he said? It could be either
an abbreviation or like an acronym or something for something. Who knows? I don't know. I just know they're funny when you put them to the right music.
Some of them. What do you think 25 IBUs are?
I don't know. I can Google that.
Bing. Let's start Bing. Let's make Bing big. I know.
Bing's been big.
It's not really.
It has been.
Oh, is that what you say though when you want to go look up something? Let me go Bing this? No, you say let me Google that.
Oh, you're just talking about like the phrasing of it.
Yes.
Using the phrase.
Yeah, let's Bing. Let's Bing.
You Google everything.
Yeah, but why can't you Bing it? It's the same thing.
You can.
Right, so that's what I'm saying. So let's Bing
if you want to start a new trend of Binging everything instead of Googling it,
yeah.
My phone won't respond if I say okay Bing.
That's true, though. But if you had a Windows phone, it might. Or you can just talk to Cortana, right? Because I know you get that. So
yes.
I actually just deleted her.
From your life?
No, just from my phone.
Oh, okay. Oh, you have a Windows phone?
No, I have it. I was
going to say, what?
No. I had Cortana on that, but I took it off just because.
Yeah, I have it too.
So it's been good.
It's been good.
Who do you think's going to win the fight Saturday? Seriously.
Seriously? McGregor.
Me too. It'll be interesting.
Good on Floyd if he can get that 50th. As long as it's a good fight. If we can get a fight that we're talking about 2 weeks from now, people are still kind of talking about it, then that's a good fight for me. I don't care who wins at that point. Yeah. But let's go McGregor.
And on that note, we're out.
Good night.
I hope you guys enjoyed it. We enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. Next week could go one of two ways. We're not really sure. I will fill you in and update it. Facebook, Twitter. Be sure to, if you're not on Twitter, go on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter. Once we hit 100 followers, we're going to randomly select somebody. I know we were waiting to the 100th person before, but I think people were waiting because they want to be it. I get it. As soon as we hit 100 followers, we're going to do a random drawing, and somebody's going to get a $25 gift card. Get on Twitter, offcolordiscussions.blueberry.net. You can subscribe there. Comment on the episodes. Let us know how we're doing. Review on iTunes. Thumbs up, 5 stars, whatever you got to give. Find us on Facebook. Find us everywhere. Instagram, Twitter. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And as promised, here is the song.
Bongo drums. Bongo drums make me feel like drinking. Casper, let's hurry and finish this so we can go get drunk. Casper, drop the drum line so I know it's crunch time. I hit you with the punchline every time, no lie. It's my time to shine. That's why I go hard in this booth to make you people move. Quick with it when I spit explicit lyrics, make your head bob, neck pop, ass drop, heart stop. But you have to be quick with it, so you listen, pay attention for a second, take direction, get the masses shaking. I gotta do this quickly, I got my dogs with me. We heading to the club, we about to get tipsy. See, normally I'm a mellow cat, but if you pinch my nipple, I transform into a thundercat. A thundercat, oh crap, the flow is ridiculous. Just look at how we spitting this. They told me stay away from that red rope licorice. Just swallow and swallow till that bottle's all gone. Fuck this, let's go. Bring in the hook, dog. Sunday night a grip is light, so Monday night we're sitting tight. Tuesday night is dollar night, Wednesday night we're getting right. On Thursday night we're getting live, Friday night it's overdrive. Next night files, we gon' pop 10 bottles. On Sunday night a grip is light, so Monday night we're sitting tight. Tuesday night is dollar night, Wednesday night we're getting right. On Thursday night we're getting live, Friday night it's overdrive. Next night files, we gon' pop 10 bottles. Pulled up to the club in a Ford Escape. Stock rims on it, so I got no date with the fake ID. I'm heading straight to the bar. I got this fat bitch on the floor, tell me go away. What'd you say? No, I'm only here to play. Why you go and pay for my drink? I'm twisting up that stink. Stickity icky icky, you can come and get me when we ride through the city. We can do a $1.60 swiftly. I got JB, JC, Mike G, Matt G. Posted by the bar is where you'll find me. Hooked to a Budweiser, IV, I lean left. Thank God the walls beside me. Oh no, the flow so remarkable, unstoppable. Huh? Sorry, drifted out for a minute, but I thought I'd let you know the FAT is back up in it. Sunday night a grip is light, so Monday night we're sitting tight. Tuesday night is dollar night, Wednesday night we're getting right. On Thursday night we're getting live, Friday night it's overdrive. Next night files, we gon' pop 10 bottles. On Sunday night a grip is light, so Monday night we're sitting tight. Tuesday night is dollar night, Wednesday night we're getting right. On Thursday night we're getting live, Friday night it's overdrive. Next night files, we gon' pop 10 bottles. This last call for alcohol good, cause my pocket's low. That lets me know that I'm right on schedule. These Captain and Cokes have fucked up my visual. I need to ride home, could you?
Who, me?
Begging for a ride, dip slide to the floor. The ghost immature has got one more ace up his sleeve, trick in his bag. The cops want me to leave cause I'm folding the bag. Oh dag, now I'm stumbling, slurred speech mumbling, keychain fumbling. I can't see nothing, I just did something. I hope it was nothing. My plan for the night was to get the club jumping. They're trying to kick me out, man, I must have said something. I'm too drunk for this shit. The bouncer grabbed my arm and told him about to get sick. I came in with my girl, did you see who she left with? Sunday night a grip is light, so Monday night we're sitting tight. Tuesday night is dollar night, Wednesday night we're getting right. On Thursday night we're getting live, Friday night it's overdrive. Next night files, we gon' pop 10 bottles. On Sunday night a grip is light, so Monday night we're sitting tight. Tuesday night is dollar night, Wednesday night we're getting right. On Thursday night we're getting live, Friday night it's overdrive. Next night files. house, we gon' pop them bottles. Now I'm in jail with no money for bail, man. I tried to call my mom, but they said the line failed. So now that I'm stuck, I wish I didn't press my luck with that bouncer. I think his name was Chuck, but I can't be too sure. They opened up the cell door, said I'm free to go. Just make sure there's no more drunk shit. Dumb shit? Mosh pit. I forget. Man, how am I gonna get the fuck out of here now? Taxi!